Bubba Shot the podcast, and that's right, a show about country at a time.
Welcome to Bubba Shot the podcast. First, the facts. And the first fact is that I am sitting with the hottest woman in rock and roll, Lucy Lightning, aka Andy.
Hello.
Hey, baby, what's going on?
Hey. Not much.
Did you shave your legs for this podcast?
No.
Well,
I got hairy legs right now, actually.
gross. It's actually never really bothered me except when it's stubble. Like long is fine. That's soft and furry. Like a little dog.
Yes.
Stubble's like a cactus.
I know what you mean. When you shave your beard, I hate it because it hurts my face.
Hurt your heart.
Yeah.
Because of how ugly I am underneath.
No.
I think we'll get into it later with the boys. Cletus T. Judd had did I shave my back for this?
Yeah, I remember that.
Well, before we get into the song, I want to do a little pre-interview with you. First of all, let's get some of your plugs out of the way.
Okay.
As a musician, you are Lucy Lightning.
Mm-hmm.
And is that the moniker on like Instagram and all the places you want people to find you?
Yeah, Lucy Lightning Music on Instagram.
Cool.
That's all I'm on right now.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
Well, you need a YouTube once you start.
Oh, I do have a YouTube actually.
Oh, nice.
So if you go, I have on my website, LucyLightningMusic.com, there's like a link to my YouTube.
Cool. And we will put a piece of your song at the end with your permission of today's episode.
Awesome.
Your single, which will be out in April.
Yeah, on Earth Day.
Uh-huh. Oh, nice. But enough about Lucy Lightning. This is about, is it Deana or Deana Carter?
It's spelled Deana, but I think everybody says Deana.
I think so too. That's a very Southern thing.
But it could just be because we're in the South and people don't be pronouncing extra syllables.
But if you're famous, somebody corrects it though. Like that's
true.
been happening her whole life. Like it might have been Deana, but if the change happened to Deana, it happened when she was 6, and everybody was like, "That's fine."
Yeah. It'd be funny if like her parents named her Deana and everybody just kept saying Deana and they were like, fuck it.
Well, I'm certain we're going to get back into that with Trey, Trae Crowder. So what I wanted to get into with you before I brought the boys on, because they're going to talk over me and you especially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know.
I wanted to ask if you can remember, you were 11 when it came out?
Yeah.
What was it? I mean, were you shaving your legs at 11?
No, but it was definitely.
Did you want to?
It was probably starting to become a thought at that point in my life. I don't think I was there yet.
Maddox is 9 and shaves her legs.
I mean, kids are exposed to stuff like that earlier because of TikTok and the internet.
So
I mean, we didn't see it as quickly.
But you saw it in this song. I mean, this song was a hit.
Yeah.
Were you a fan?
Yeah, I loved Deana Carter.
Yeah, Strawberry Wine.
Yeah.
All that.
I just thought it was funny.
Right.
You know?
It was a funny song.
I don't think I saw myself in her shoes because I was 11. I wasn't like, I need to shave my legs for a guy. I think it was just like, this is funny. Look at her. She's like my mom or whatever.
And it wasn't like Strawberry Wine, which was biographical for you.
Yeah.
If you don't know, go check out the Strawberry Wine episode. Andy and Deana Carter apparently lived the same life. But instead of Strawberry Wine, it was Molly. Strawberry Molly.
Strawberry Molly.
That should be your DJ name, Strawberry Molly.
Strawberry Molly. That is a good DJ name.
Well, what I want to know, though, if you can remember, you're 11 years old. Is that 6th grade? That's 6th grade.
Yeah.
I mean, were the girls jamming out to Did I Shave My Legs for this? You know, was it already happening, or do you think that was more of a high school thing?
I guess they were. I mean, honestly, in middle school, all I really remember everybody being into is boy bands. But we also liked country, like pop country. I loved Reba and listened to a lot of pop country. But I remember talking to other kids about Backstreet Boys and NSYNC and Spice Girls.
So glad I had you on in a pre-interview to talk about this song.
No, I love this song.
Well, I guess I just made assumptions because Strawberry Wine, you had so many thoughts on.
Well, I just don't remember talking to other kids about it.
Well, of course, yeah, that makes sense.
I think it was an adult song to us.
Yeah. So so kids weren't talking about shaving their legs at 11.
I mean, not that I wasn't.
I was slightly older, and so I guess I was 13 when it came out, going on 14. And I remember my freshman year, the cheerleaders, like on the high school team, because I hung out with older girls because I was fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking real cool.
Mm.
And went to a really small town.
Yeah, there was like 40 of you.
Yeah, exactly. And I was in the top 8, like MySpace. I remember the cheerleaders being like very into it. There's definitely a point, and boys do this too. Boys probably do it earlier, where young people will pretend to identify with an adult song before they do.
Yeah.
And I definitely remember the high school girls, did I shave my legs for this? It was like a female empowerment song. It was a kind of a fuck you song to all the men out there who were bullshit.
Definitely.
And that's totally fair, but it's hilarious when a 14-year-old's like, and I'm sick of these men not doing the dishes.
I think it probably hit more for us that it was that for our moms.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think our moms all got really into that song because
to
them, that was a female empowerment song. And also the music video, I mean, I'm sure we'll get into this, but like the music video and the song is just like plays into the stereotype of like deadbeat husband,
mm-hmm.
deadbeat man,
mm-hmm.
and then the wife who's like stuck at home cleaning and taking care of kids.
Yeah, I think it was scary, frankly, for some kids to see their mom get so excited about a song like this. So I was like, damn, because she leaves at the end.
Yeah. Wait, she leaves at the end?
Doesn't she say, as I turn and go out the door? We'll get in the lyrics
Oh,
later.
yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine some anxious children. Not me, of course. I was cool.
Yeah, you weren't anxious at all.
I was fucking cool.
You weren't anxious. Don't even know her.
What?
I don't know.
Hey, you trying to do the angster, don't even know her joke?
Yeah.
This is the best episode ever. We are going to have the guys on in a few minutes. We appreciate you being here. Like I said, I want to get your plugs in and all that. And I wanted to have a chance to interview you one-on-one about Deana Carter because, I feel like from Strawberry Wine to here, you're our Deana Carter correspondent.
Yeah.
This is the Bubba Shot the Podcast Deana Carter
that
correspondent,
rules.
Lucy Lightning. What's Deana up to these days? What do you think?
She is sleeping on the most expensive mattress in a house of her choosing and, living her best life.
That was such an Andy way to imagine how rich people's lives are. The first thing Andy's going to do if she ever gets big is buy a new mattress. Like, what do you think rich people are up to? Just fucking sleeping. Just getting to sleep. By the way, what time did you get up today, Andy?
9.
And you had to work. What time did you get up yesterday?
I don't know.
I'm just saying you sleep as much as you want, but it's hilarious to get like rich people, though.
But have you ever slept on a $10,000 mattress? I haven't.
Is that a real thing?
Probably. Of course it is.
Yeah, it's like heat. What am I trying to say? It's climate control, but without you having to do it.
It's like all organic and probably has a fragrance in it. You could probably like click a button and it's aromatherapy.
You're so pure in what you imagine it is, that luxury is, and being rich could mean for your life.
Well,
when you leave me and say, did I shave my legs for this because you've got $1 million, I don't have to worry about you like breaking my heart, posting pictures of you partying in Belize with hot models. So I'm just gonna be like, I know what she's doing. She took all her money and she's sleeping. She's got eucalyptus being spritzed over her in the middle of the night.
I'd sleep around the world.
Did you ever say she was gonna sleep around?
Beds around the world.
That's so funny to think about. Going on a world tour, just taking naps.
Yeah, that would rule.
Taking naps in different parts of the world.
Vacation naps are the best.
I might name my summer tour that. Naps Around America.
Yeah, that's a good name.
You
heard it here first.
Only that, but I'm touring with DJ this summer, so then
DJ likes naps.
I don't think he does. He naps at night. Like he'll lay down about midnight, wake up at 4, but that's what I'm saying, buddy. Well, they should be here now, so I don't know why they're not. I would say we'll pause right here and go to a break, but we don't have commercials. We don't have sponsors for Bubba Shot the Podcast. If you want to sponsor Bubba Shot the Podcast, you can hit us up on Twitter or Instagram, and we're looking for sponsors. Now, we want these sponsors to be brand adjacent. You know what I mean? We're not going to be – we want to be sponsored by, like, Irish Spring Soap. I feel like 90s Country and Irish Spring Soap. Remember those commercials? They go together.
They still around?
They still around. Spring and Corey is the only one here on time. Hey, buddy.
Our spring soap is very much still around, my friends, and I would have to agree with you that and 90s Country go hand in hand. They got the green and the white speckled soap, bar soap, and there was one that was blue and white that my granny always used, and that was very much a 90s staple. So I agree with you. Irish Springs, holler at us.
Yeah, Irish Springs, holler at us. Trey and Tushar are late, but we're already recording, so I decided to bring you on, buddy. I'm not going to deliver the facts till we get everybody here. But, Andy, I'm going to be honest. I made some assumptions about my wife based upon her personality and her love of Deana Carter's hit Strawberry Wine, which, as you recall, Andy had a lot to say about.
Yes.
After y'all screamed me down the stairs.
Mouthy gal, that one.
Well, guess what, Joe? I had her on today for a pre-interview about this song, and she had nothing to say about it.
That's not true. I said plenty.
She did say plenty.
I know that's right.
I made the silly assumption, and this is what I wanted to open up to you, that like at 11, she was like pretending to identify with the song. And I think that comes later, because I definitely remember high school girls, the cheerleaders, pretending that they really identified with this song about a man who was full of shit.
Right.
But it's like, you're 14. Who forgot to do the dishes at your house and made you mad? You know what I mean?
And also at the young girls in those age, like what guy is not a boy back then could still get drunk, but also get down to business too. Like we were always, ready to go in that regard. I don't think 18-year-old me would ever let somebody like Deana Carter waiting. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's certainly true.
I'd have kicked them fuckers off the couch. I promise you that.
Teenage girls were mad at their dads because their mom was mad at their dads.
Right.
They were just following that lead. Looking
right.
Worthless man on the couch.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Now we're getting some heat. It turns out I couldn't get her fired up earlier because y'all weren't in here. Well, here we go.
And then I popped in and she remembered how much she hate men.
Yeah, that's quite literally what happened. Welcome to Bubba Shot the Podcast. First, the facts. Did I Shave My Legs for This is a song co-written and recorded by Deana Carter. It was released in November of 97. It was the 6th single, which is interesting, off an album called Did I Shave My Legs for This. It went to number 25 on the Billboard Country and Singles chart. Does that right off the bat surprise you guys?
No, but only because I've been thinking about it. And I remember when I first listened to this song back for this episode, I obviously loved the song, but the first thing I thought of is, this should have been more of an anthem than it turned out to be. Like, I don't really hear this song a lot anymore. Do you know what I'm saying?
I thought that, I think I said this when we covered Strawberry Wine, but I remember my mama had this cassette tape. Did I Shave My Legs for This? And absolutely wore it out in the car all the time. And it's super hip for me too. But in my head, this was the title track from the album. And not like, I didn't even realize this had been a single or anything, honestly. I knew that people like remembered it, but I thought it was more for being the title track off that album that had all these other hits on it and stuff and was, big at the time. I didn't.
Right. She certainly had huge hits at the time. Strawberry Wine was a number one. When I first read that earlier, I was thinking, well, this is a song for women. It's very geared toward women. 97, you still had payola. Billboard counts, spins on radio. Maybe they weren't playing it because they were like, fuck this, because it's about those fat fuck DJs. You know what I mean?
It was they probably did it 6 because it was too feminist for 90s country. Right. They were like, we got to really ease into this one.
Maybe be quiet, the men are talking. But
it definitely is one of those.
But what I was going to say is I can't say that they did that to Deana Carter because the other songs they did make, They did play on the radio, but maybe that's why the other songs weren't as feminist. They were about statutory rape. We won't get into it.
Well, it's very telling. Like, to me, this is one of those songs where if as a guy, this song rubs you the wrong way, it can only mean one thing. And it's because, like, I hear this song and I go, that's not me. So therefore the song's not about me. Like, I take care of my wife. I cook, I do all this stuff. So clearly it's not about me, but those sorry motherfuckers do exist. But if you
it's
hear
not
this
about him. It's not about him, all right? It's not about him, guys.
See? That's what I'm saying.
Tushar, what's up, buddy? Do you remember this song at all? Was it you?
I do not at all. Pretty great. I love it. I mean, I really do. It's great. There's so many reasons where, like, it almost is like a prequel to the guy. Like, she leaves the guy because he's a piece of shit. And then he's like, man, I miss her so much. What did I do? Like, it's like he's so oblivious to it, and she's just pointing out what she's feeling. And she's
Are
in
you
heat.
saying that this is why Amy's back in Austin?
Yeah, exactly.
Is this Earl in the song?
Different
Maybe
writer.
it's Earl.
He could be, though.
Maybe it's
Gotta go
Bubba.
check out.
Yeah, I think he's more Bubba than Earl because Earl had to die. Bubba just was sad.
Bubba's sad. Yeah.
I don't think this particular gentleman, just for being fat on the couch and drinking beer, deserves death.
Well, he wasn't fat though in the video.
No, he's
No,
not.
the guy
He's
wasn't.
actually like a
His
young,
buddy
young
was.
hipster
One of his
in the
buddies
video.
was, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I was thinking of the buddy. Well, let's get into some lyrics, shall we, gentlemen? Oh, that's not the lyrics, is it? What did I do with them? I closed out the wrong tab earlier. One.
The other thing I liked about it was when it's just like it's like it has the cadence of a slow song,
Mm-hmm.
a slow dance song, but clearly it's a solo. Like she's dancing alone.
I think that explains the chart placement. Like, if this song had been one tempo higher, it would be more of an anthem, because it would have been like, yeah, fuck men, but it kind of seems like something to dance to, like slow
I
down.
agree with that, and I was going to kind of get into it when we get into the songwriter. So let me do some lyrics, and then we'll talk about that in just a second. Flowers and wine is what I thought I would find when I came home from working tonight. Well, now here I stand over this frying pan, and you want a cold one again. I bought these new heels, did my nails, had my hair done just right. I thought this new dress was a sure bet for romance tonight. Well, it's perfectly clear between the TV and beer, I won't get so much as a kiss. And as I head for the door, I turn around to be sure, did I shave my legs for this?
I turn around to be sure.
Sure, you're right. It rhymes better.
Rhymes with door.
Right off the bat, we've got a good story. I mean, I have to give the song from the perspective of that. We've set up what's happening. I know what's going down. I know who he is. I've met him before, and I got a pretty good idea of where it's going for her.
I mean, you've met this guy before. I mean, I've been this dude.
I've bet, yeah. I was about to say, trust me.
I'm not
Last
gonna
week,
lie. I'm
Yeah.
not always this dude, but I've absolutely been this dude. Me and
For
all
sure.
my best friends have. All together at the
At the
same
same
time on
yeah.
numerous occasions. Yes.
yeah, like Captain Planet, bag of shits, our powers combined.
Outback shooting beer cans with fucking pistols while the children huddle in fear inside with all the wives at Thompson's house.
No thought at
Stuff
all
like
that it
that.
was pussy to be got anywhere. Just
Mm-mm.
Why
anyway.
why is her expectation so high?
see, I wanted to get into that too, because I do this. Me and my therapist have been talking, and I do this to my wife sometimes, where all day I have this specific night in my mind that how things are going to go, and then Amber was feeling a different way, and it's not her fault that she wasn't in the same zone as me. You know what I'm saying? Maybe this guy had a bad day and this is what he's, that's how he's feeling. And it's damn sure if Amber's not in the mood, I'm not allowed to go write a song about that. You know what I mean? She's just allowed not to want to do it.
Yeah, it's hard being a man.
Yeah.
It's-
Well, maybe he's got one day when the game's on, and that's it. And then she chooses that day to make a big fuss about it.
This is an isolated incident, man.
Yeah, we don't know the rest of their relationship.
Of course not.
This is such a fun experience for the listeners right now because I quite literally predicted this no more than 18 minutes ago. On that note, though, you guys are taking a reading. Let's discuss it for a second. That this is all about, I guess, the word romance. Like she has shaved her legs and gotten dressed up for sex. You have alluded Trey or Corey to it a couple times. I'm going to take the thought that it's really about going out and having a nice romantic time, which may end in sex, which is why you shaved the legs.
Yeah, and she expected flowers, so it seems like there was a special occasion.
Right.
If she's expecting them,
that's fair.
So he really dropped the fucking ball here.
That's fair.
Again. But but I do want to say that's an interesting point. But it goes back to Corey's. One of you's right. What I mean is either this is a special occasion and she's expecting flowers because it's a special occasion and he has fucked up, or Corey's point stands. Why do you expect flowers if it's just a fucking random Saturday?
Set your expectations low.
I'm sort 12 kids in the video.
I'm with you. I'm with you though, Andy. Like the line "I expected flowers" does sort of lend itself to like this was Valentine's Day, or it was my birthday, or I had just got a new promotion or something. So okay.
I'm going to say anniversary.
Yeah, and
I think that's what the read is, but I could see it another way. Tushar, Trey, what are your thoughts?
I mean, yeah, we were just
we were hitting
bullshitting around a minute ago. Clearly, there's some kind of context for it. Yeah, I don't know what.
Maybe like
I mean, why would you expect to show up at home to flowers and wine if it's just Tuesday? Like unless there had to be some kind of. It's either a day he forgot about, anniversary or something. Or like they had talked about it, and then he forgot about that. It's got to be something. It's like standing date night. He invited it. It can't just be a regular day. I don't think.
Tushar, our perpetual bachelor friend, what do you think about this relationship?
The first half of the song, I was like, this is something that wasn't special, but she just expected this. It wasn't a special day. She's just like, oh, this guy get off the fucking couch for once. And she's giving signals to be like, I did all this shit. I shaved my legs. And you expect me to just be this version of a woman while you just fuck around on the couch and not care. So I didn't personally think it was like a special night, especially when later in the lyrics, when she's like, now you want me to go back to school. So this is like a ongoing thing that's been happening, and it's almost like she has brought this up several times,
I'd say, and
he is just ignoring it all the time, and this is her final straw.
Yeah, she brought it up before, I guarantee that.
Yeah.
You're doing
suffering in silence, not a thing my wife does.
Your reading, Tushar, is, and I agree with you, this is obviously not just one night, it's a metaphor. It's like, did I shave my legs for this night we're having? And in general, did I ever shave my legs for you? Like, why did I ever do that in the first fucking place?
Yeah,
and also, she's obviously ovulating.
Yeah.
It's clear. I think it's clear, right? So this is maybe once 7 days a month she just goes through this thing.
It's so funny that Tushar's clearly never lived with a woman. That's when they're the nicest to you, buddy.
Yeah, right.
You got it completely backwards, homie.
All right. I'm learning.
All right. Let's talk a little bit about the co-writer and the background with her before we finish these lyrics, and then we'll talk about the music videos. It was co-written by a woman named Rhonda Hart.
Yes.
Rhonda Hart.
That's perfect.
Yeah, I don't know if that's her real name or stage name, but she was in an all-girls group called Angels on the Range, which was a country music girl group with Rhonda Hart, Deana Carter, and someone named Mila Mason. And everyone, sort of says that they were put together by the studios. They're a precursor to the Dixie Chicks, kind of at the same time-ish. In other words, a lot of the institutions in Nashville sort of recognized that something like the Dixie Chicks could pop. because of the Spice Girls and the like. The Dixie Chicks did pop. This particular group didn't. Rhonda, though, did have a solo career after the group split up. It wasn't obviously as good as Deana's because we haven't heard of her. She had a hit called Waiting for the Phone to Ring that was huge in the UK for whatever reason. And when she got back from touring in the UK, she went to the workshop with Deana and they penned this song. This is, as best I can tell, other than the UK hit, her only hit. I listened to some of her music. It's great. But what you were talking about, I think Corey earlier, maybe Trey, the tempo, she's not as poppy. Like when I listen to her music, this could have been a banger because it's a banger in theme, and it is a great song, but it's not a banger in music. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think that's what you were getting at earlier.
It's not the one, like it's lyrically, it's definitely an anthem for women to unite and go, we have this common interest, and it's that we all have a bag of shit man that does this from time to time. But this song's not going to come on and they're all going to, you know, pick up their shoes and run to the dance floor like they would during Shania Twain, you know, Any Man of Mine or whatever.
I think the tempo is probably a purposeful choice because it does kind of like hangs and it just like draws out, you know, it's like,
I love it.
It feels like the message of the story of like this motherfucker hangs around and every day is the same. It kind of just feels like it's, do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I love it. I wasn't arguing that it should be different. I was just arguing that like I think that definitely changes how it's received.
They had to keep it slow enough that it could still potentially be a wedding dance song.
Yeah, right.
I think
it's party.
Yeah.
It's super like old fashioned in the music. I mean, like this sounds like an old country song to me.
That's interesting you say that because
like
she
Tear
grew up
in My
country.
Berry type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, just the story and the lyrics, you know, obviously different perspective and modernized, but musically it sounds like one of them old songs to me, which I'm sure I was definitely on purpose.
Well, and I also think she grew up in a country family. She's been like Rhonda did. She's been playing music her whole life. I'm assuming I'm kind of giving her all the credit for the music, but I think I'm doing that fairly based upon what I listen to, giving her credit for the melody. I mean, but she grew up in a country music family back in the day, you know, in the 70s and 80s. So I think you're completely right, Trey.
It's very much like if Loretta wrote a 90s pop country song.
Nice. Good reference. Too sharp.
It almost reads like a diary entry, which is what's so alluring about it. It's so personal. Yeah. It's like she's talking to herself.
Right. And on the note of the tempo and it coming out of the gate and only going 25 on the Billboard, that might partially be because, I mean, this was the 6th single and Deana had just been spitting out hit after hit after hit. There might have been a saturation issue. But as far as longevity, you know, you want to talk about hitting one good lick. This song has gone, I want to make sure I say it right, quadruple platinum.
Oh,
it received a Grammy nomination for Song of the Year in 98 because it came out way late in 97. So other than Strawberry Wine, I think it ended up being the second biggest hit in time, just not in that first release point, you know.
I don't know how that works outside of like.
I think sales versus radio plays. So the first week you go out on the radio and the Billboard's like tracking you, I think it has to do with radio plays and sales. But then
I don't know what sales were back then.
Time. What?
You know, like what were sales back then on one song? I know they had singles you could buy, but does that mean literally 4 million singles of this song were like, because back it was physical copies. We're talking about a CD that has one song on it of this song. 4 million of those were sold is what that means.
Yeah, I'm not educated enough. I'm not educated enough to answer that.
There were single cassettes.
I mean, maybe every song gets counted on the album, so it's like picking up steam that way. But I know that this woman's career, you know what I mean, and I'm more talking about longevity too. I don't know how all that works. I guess what I'm arguing though is that this song had more staying power than every other hit on the album, other than Strawberry Wine.
Deana she really made a lot of money on this album.
Yeah. Oh, there ain't no doubt. This is back before it all, you know, fell apart in so much as it did. They're still fine musicians at that level, but this was pre-Napster, so You got a big album like this one was, she had to make a shitload of money.
Mm-hmm.
Here are the other singles. We Danced Anyway.
Great.
Slaps.
Number one.
Awesome.
Love it.
Count Me In.
I don't know that one.
I don't remember.
How Do I Get There?
They're from
Number
here.
one.
That's a jam too.
Mm-hmm.
But I would,
Album slaps.
for me,
Dude,
the
I'm
second
telling
most famous one is Did I Shave My Legs Through This?
I'd say We Danced Anyway. To me,
Yeah,
maybe.
to me, the top 2 Deana Carter songs were Strawberry Wine, number 1, then A Gap, then We Danced Anyway, and then the rest of her oeuvre.
I hear We Danced Anyway a lot more than I hear this song, if that means
Mm-hmm.
anything.
I don't. I believe you guys, but I definitely, for me, it feels like Did I Shave My Legs For This is more ubiquitous now and throughout my like college years than We Danced Anyway. Strawberry Wine, undeniably, it's way up here, and then we got a gap.
I've heard We Danced Anyways on like shows and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's more like commercially.
Right.
It is. It's
so
a great song, but yeah, it's more whatever.
Sharp, what do you think? Who's white?
Who's what?
Who's white? Who's white about this?
Top right corner gets the square.
Top right's or top white?
Top
okay.
white.
Let's talk about this video. It basically just follows what's happening in the song with 2 key variations. One is the friends, which we've already mentioned. I don't think that's a huge deal. You're not changing the story that much. You're just telling a little bit more of it. You know, he acts this way and he acts this way all the time, and his friends come over, you know. The other one is the kids. There's no mention of children in the song. And as we get into the second verse and she leaves pretty flippantly. I think that was someone, director, someone at the agency, somebody saying, let's expand the meaning of this a little bit. Let's make it also apply to house moms, not just housewives.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, also, I feel like they were like, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to rent out a trailer for the day, right? And we're going to cast the piece of shit husband and his piece of shit friends. We're just going to film inside that trailer all day. And at some point they were like, oh shit, we got to get some dirty kids in here. Like this ain't going to make no sense to nobody if there ain't a bunch of fucking untended to kids running around. It's just not,
it's a
it
trailer.
doesn't ring true.
Well, they also, in the lyrics, doesn't it say this trailer is wet?
Yeah, that's a joke.
I kind of feel like that insinuates kids.
Oh, I thought that was a joke. All right, let's do the lyrics then. Let's get right into it. I thought something different, but you might be right.
I thought that's just what Mamaws said when they heard Conway Twitty. I tell you what, this trailer is wet, boy.
Now, when we first met, you promised we'd get a house on the hill with a pool. Well, this trailer stays wet, and we're swimming in debt. Now you want me to go back to school. I'll pause there before we finish them so we can discuss it. I thought that was just a joke referencing the pool because it's swimming in debt is a joke. It's like, do we have a pool? You promised me a pool. No, but we got a wet fucking trailer swimming in debt. But
yeah, and I thought, and I interpreted it as like it leaks and
leaky
shit
roof
because it's shitty and he don't fix nothing.
The plumbing's fucked
it's like
up.
The roof leaks. You know, ain't got no pool, but this trailer's wet because you don't do shit about it.
That makes sense.
It could also just be these kids pissing everywhere and you're not ever changing their diapers, you piece of shit.
I mean, that's a whole nother level of sorry right there. That's like somebody call the authorities.
This infers, by the way, that they own the trailer.
So that's good.
So that's pretty good.
Well, no, they don't. They're swimming in debt. The bank
maybe from buying a trailer.
Yeah, but I'm saying if he's the one that's supposed to fix all these things, they don't have a landlord.
Yeah, they got a mortgage. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So I mean, that's something.
I found the now you want me to go back to school like the only thing out of place here because it seems like
because it implies that these people would have gone to school the first time,
right? Like, what does she mean? Middle school? Like, what is that? What is that?
Well, Tushar, when you don't come from a family who owns a mustard farm, what happens a lot is people start community college and they get 1 year done, but they don't finish it, or they get the most basic nursing degree, but they didn't get the one that makes the more money. That's what I always thought.
They get their associates.
Yeah.
I mean, there's that. To be fair, that was a phrase that I heard all the time.
Go back to school.
Area. Like, I'm gonna go back to school.
Yeah,
And
get out of
mostly,
this. Yeah.
Mostly no, but that didn't happen. But it did get said a lot.
Yeah,
my mama said that countless times over the years. Ain't been near a school.
And if she did, she was in blackface dressed like Aunt Jemima.
That's true. Picking me up from kindergarten.
Pancake day.
Boy, out of context, that's going to be something for the listeners.
Yeah. Well, I talked about it in Knoxville. Some of the people were there. They might remember. Yeah. But we ain't got to get into it all right now. But if you come see us live, go to wellreadcomedy.com. You'll probably hear me talk about the time my mom picked me up from kindergarten in blackface, which is true. Anyway, moving on. Yeah. Can't believe
Did I paint my face for this?
Tushar, I feel like it's like he's still going to expect her to do all this woman shit that he expects her to do now, but also he's been saying you're going to have to go back to school so you can get a job and start paying for some shit too.
Well, it doesn't seem like he works, because in the beginning of the song, she's like, I came home from work.
And he's already hit.
The stuff to be done. Like,
he might work thirds.
So, all right. I mean, you're right about that. Well, the school thing is just, you need an even better job.
Just get out of here.
I'm trying to hit.
Go do your homework.
Maybe this is Earl.
I do agree. Like, the video does take a lot of, like, because this could be a really dark video if it's just him on the couch in the thing, drinking a thing, smoking a cigarette. There's no kids. There's no buddies.
Slapping the kids around.
And
Get the kids out.
And she's just coming back from work being like, what about me? Like, the context of the video, it kind of had to be there. So I found that kind of interesting. I thought the video was great too. It's like,
I like the video a lot. I tried to find who directed it, and they just don't be telling that.
We couldn't find it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Well, let's finish these lyrics out. How about that? I'm going to go back to where we were because it's a full verse. Now, when we first met, you promised we get a house on the hill with a pool. Well, this trailer stays wet and we're swimming in debt. Now you want me to go back to school. I bought these new heels, did my nails, had my hair done just right. I thought this new dress was a sure bet for romance tonight. Well, it's perfectly clear between the TV and beer, I won't get so much as a kiss. As I head for the door, I turn around to be sure. Did I shave my legs for this? Darling, did I shave my legs for this?
Oof.
I feel like this song was written by Big Razor. Really,
I know I use this phrase a lot, but this poor lady just wants to get choke slammed, and it's sad that she's in heat, and this guy is just done with it.
She's in heat.
But yeah,
the feral trailer woman.
Well, he's really fucking up. It's Deana Carter. She's hot.
Yeah. That part, that's a little bit of a suspension of disbelief going on there. I feel like that's what Corey was saying when I first got here, wasn't it? About
we were talking about
you wouldn't leave a woman like that waiting or something.
Yeah, we were talking about though in like Andy was talking about like younger girls in high school identifying with this song, and I was like, yeah, that's stupid though, because like no 18 to 20 something year old boy, like 18 and 20-something-year-old boy, Deana Carter shows up. All right, y'all, get the fuck out the house. I got shit to do. You know what I'm saying? But like, no matter how hot you are, once you become the wife, you're still the wife. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Listen, this was an Australian guy who I first heard say this somewhat uncouth phrase, but we were all hanging out at a bar and there was a very hot chick in there. This is like in my early 20s. And somebody pointed out how hot this girl was. And the Australian dude goes, oh, I bet some bloke's tired of fucking her.
It's true.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
Hey, listen.
I didn't say it.
That might listen. There's a lot of wisdom in that tiny little phrase. I'm not saying it's right, but it's perspective. It's perspective.
Yeah, and there's at least 6 women tired of fucking that guy.
Exactly. Of course. Of course.
Also, from the video, clearly she gets pregnant every time they have sex. So maybe he's just like,
yeah. It's just like, I can't afford to keep fucking you. God damn.
Yeah, it seems like he's bought her flowers before.
Yeah, on the note of her being like kind of too hot and definitely too young for all them kids in the video. Like he started getting her pregnant at 12. We were talking about.
We'll have that.
We were talking about Trey and Tushar. He's a strawberry wine guy.
Oh yeah, he came back.
We were talking about young people, guys and gals do this. They start identifying with art, music specifically, that like don't have shit to do with them. And what you came into, Trey, was I was talking about like high school cheerleaders singing this song like, you know, it was about a man that ain't shit. And it's like, you know, you ain't ever had a man fail you in that way, you know, but like the guys are doing it too. Me with rap, I'm sure all of us with rap, it was like, yeah, I'll fucking break a dude's jaw. And it's like, dude, I couldn't break a fall, much less a jaw, you know?
Yeah, right.
But like, do y'all remember, you know, women who were too young to identify with this song blasting it? I certainly do.
Absolutely, dude. And even in the other way where it's not identifying with hating the guy, I remember about being middle school dances and like 12-year-old couples, you know, dancing with each other, listening to "You're Still the One" by Shania Twain, and like looking in each other's eyes like they didn't think we'd make it. And I'm like, you're fucking like looking back and saying, you're 12. Nobody thought anything.
But buddy, that was such a thing.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like we've been through it all together. Recess. Losing my agenda and getting in trouble for it, you know.
That reminds me, my 14-year-old nephew texted me out of the blue the lyrics. There's only 3 things I'm worried about: heartbreaking, paper making, and ass shaking. Pimp out. If these hoes dripping, I ain't tripping because it's about my pimping. Didn't say hi, didn't say what it was. Just texted me that.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah,
he doesn't identify with a single word in there.
I'm so glad that we weren't able to text or take pictures when I was his age.
Yeah, same.
Jesus,
I mean, and YouTube and all that wasn't a thing.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Well, that's maybe a nice segue. Do we have a rap?
Some wild DMX renditions out there on
my
old channel. I'll tell you
It'd be hilarious, though.
They would be hilarious, but they would not play. I weren't censoring none of it. I was letting the art speak for itself, you know.
Yeah.
When I was,
but I feel like as chubby and as Mountain Dew swigging as you were, they would like at least some of the internet would have been like, I don't know, he's going pretty hard. We might have to give him a pass.
It's fine.
Fat white trash dork with a gold chain on.
Y'all gonna make me shave my legs.
Yeah.
Well done.
I don't have a rap equivalent, but I would like to read the chorus to one of my favorite Cletus T. Judd songs, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. He's one of my favorite rappers.
It ain't the first time this year. It'll be the TV and beer. I about forgot what it's like to be here. As I sleep on the floor while she sniffles and snores, did I shave my back for this?
What?
Yeah.
How do you shave your own back?
Oh, you can't. I've tried. But yeah, it's that Cletus song.
In this theory,
you can tape it. You tape it to a back scratcher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, Tushar literally doesn't know what's happening. We have to. He didn't know the first song. So
right. Cletus T. Judd is a country. He's like the country Weird Al. And so when this song came out, he did. Did I shave my back for this? And it's funny because the entire song was it. The premise doesn't change at all. It's just he's a guy trying to, he does all this stuff for his wife, and she won't, give him any. And anyways, it's one of my favorites. But yeah, I forgot.
The rap equivalent of that is No Pigeons, which is a response to No Scrubs. No Scrubs is not a rap song, but it is the closest thing I can think of.
We'll go with that.
The first thing that popped into my head, and it's only about sex, but it's talking shit about sorry ass men. Do y'all remember the Missy Elliott song "Minute Man" with
Hell
Trina?
Yeah, of course.
That's the first thing that popped into my
Trina
head.
Go hard.
Trina goes so hard. I remember one of Trina's lines in that song. I'll never forget it. She goes, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Hell, not to please me, you got to sleep in it.
Yeah.
I feel like Megan Thee Stallion or
Cardi B.
Shit. Yeah,
Cardi B.
they probably have one, but I'm not familiar
Surely.
enough with their oeuvre.
I'm sure there's other ones. Yeah, we're not thinking of. They definitely, lady rappers definitely got some men ain't shit songs.
Yeah, men ain't shit songs. I feel like spans all decades
and genres,
pastime.
All genres. Yeah.
The Bollywood equivalent of this song is it's called "Did I Shave My Face for This?"
Oh boy, she got stoned for singing that one.
God.
Too sharp.
Oh man, much like Deana Carter, we have back-to-back bangers there. Let's talk about Deana real quick because I promised everybody I'd bring it up to you, Trey, Trae. Was her name Deana, and then at like 6, nobody said it right, and then they just made her stick with it, or what do we think?
I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's definitely like I'm trying to think of other people I've known that had names that didn't. You know, I feel like it's a thing you'll see in the South or in white trash circles, but also
like saying it.
But there's 2 versions of that white trash thing where you made a name and you just wanted this to be the name, but you didn't know how to spell it. You kind of fucked up. You wanted it to be called Deana, and it looks like
that's a very
Deanna.
funny way of describing such a real thing that seems to happen. Like there was this kid and that like up around where I'm from, somebody had a kid and named it Phoenix, and they spelled it FHOENIX, and it's like if you got the F, you don't need the H. You do PH or just the F. There's no universe which you would need both the F and the H. But it's like you said, they just don't. They didn't know.
This is a universe. This is a universe
forever.
I was about to say this is a universe where someone is naming their child Phoenix. You know, like
wait.
Actually, that name kind of hits.
I missed the E. Did you say FHON? That's font.
No. It was spelled just like the actual word Phoenix, but with an F instead of the P. Also, that kid's sibling was named Craven with a K. Craven
nice, like the comic book.
Yes, but Craven means pussy, means cowardly.
Oh, right. You know,
Craven is a word meaning cowardly. Craven the hunter from the Spider-Man books.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about? Sure. That's not who they named this kid.
No. I know that, but that's actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it's weird that his name was Craven because he's the opposite of all that. And I never, because to me, I always think of the word Craven. I just think of him, this big beast.
Dude, I think of Wes Craven, so I thought it meant disturbing. I don't even think I knew what that word meant.
They probably did name him after Wes Craven, I guess. It's more, well, okay. I guess it depends on where you're coming from with it, because I read the Game of Thrones books, and George R.R. Martin throw the word Craven around more than he describes foods.
Well,
and it means cowardly. So that's what I think of. Anyway, with Deana, I feel like that's also another version of it where it's like you got a name and they just say it a different way, and then that's just what their name is. That
happened to me in my hometown. You know, my last name is Morrow. And just like there are people who my whole life have and still say Marlowe. Just added an A and an L.
I got some cousins in Salina. Their name is Burnett, but more than half of Salina, including like some members of their own family, call it Burnett.
I could go on for days about this phenomenon.
Right. But hold on, but we're talking about 2 different phenomena, and that's what I want to point out. And I guess I'm just going to make y'all pick which one you think it is individually. It could be that they wanted to name their kid Deana, and then they didn't realize they were spelling it Deanna because they were like Dean, Dean, Deana. Or her name is Deanna, and then the same person who would have done what I just described as an uncle or a cousin was like, that's Deana. And it just stuck. I think it's the former.
Where'd she grow up?
I think it's the former too. I think it's like, you know, we've talked before about the overlap with white trash and urban naming conventions, you know, in this type of way. I think it's like the Dwayne Wade situation.
Yeah.
Y'all know how Dwayne Wade's name is spelled?
D''.
Nah, it's DWYANE or something. So it's like which I'm sorry, don't make no sense, but it's pronounced Dwayne. And I think Deana is the same. It's that same exact thing. It's like, I believe her name was Deana and they just spelled it Deanna and said, fuck it.
Well, this says she's from
She's from Nashville, and she's the daughter of Fred Carter Jr. So I didn't realize that she's one of those Carters, apparently.
Oh, I didn't either.
And then also I found out that she was married to music video director Chris Hickey. Maybe we can't find it because she don't want people to know.
I was about to say he probably directed this.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she's from Nashville, but she's white trash, but she's white trash royalty, so she's like rich people.
It could go either way then.
Mm-hmm.
Deana.
Sure could.
I get there's also maybe possible, but I feel like they'd just change the spelling if it was this. Maybe it was Deana, and at some point somebody thought Dina would play better, like she's
Ralph Emery introduced her as Dina, and they were just like, "Fuck it, it's stuck."
Right? Yeah, right. Because she's in show business, and people be changing their names. Maybe there was other Deanas at the time that we're not thinking of or don't remember now. We're like, we can't have another Deana. You can be Dina if you want.
Doesn't sound Southern enough.
Yeah, or that, right? Like it's like a market whatever.
Deana sounds.
Shit. It's like Dina sounds more country than Deana, so you Dina now. Like,
it does, inarguably.
Right. I'm saying I wouldn't be surprised at all if that exact thing happened in Nashville.
It says. So I found in her biography that she came out with a song at 16 because of who she was, and she didn't get any success, and then she just went to college for a little while. Had a major, was planning on not being in music, and then came back to it. Maybe that was the big change. It's like she woke up one night and was like, "It'll be Dina and it'll work." I want to semi-correct myself. I found out just now she was Fred Carter Jr.'s daughter. I knew that name, and then I was like, "Oh, the Carter family." But then I was like, "That doesn't sound right." She is not part of the Carter family. Fred Carter Jr. is a famous musician, producer, etc., but he is not part of that.
Oh, she was named for the late Dean Martin.
So she's Deana.
Mm-hmm. Deana.
Well,
Yep.
Solving mysteries.
So I mean, it's literally what you said, Drew.
Yep.
Dane.
Dane.
D-E-A-N.
Dane.
That's A. Dane.
Yeah.
There you go.
We called
and
my
no one was like,
Geraldine.
"That looks like Deanna to me." Or if they did say that, they got slapped, and it just stayed the same way.
We called my grandmother Geraldine. We called her Mama Dean. And Geraldine is obviously Gerald with an I-N-E at the end. But to spell Mama Dean, I always do D-A-N, because if you do it the way it looks like Don.
And that don't hit.
No, it don't hit. So I would have went the other way. I would have changed the spelling a little bit.
She's been married 3 times.
My daughter after Dean Martin. What, Tujar?
She's been married for the 3rd time in 2017.
Mm-hmm. So I'm sure every single one of them was just a lousy son of a bitch.
Guarantee it. Guarantee it.
That's a great way to wrap it up. Lousy sons of bitches. She guarantees it. Andy, you're our guest. Go ahead and give us your rating. We go from 0 to 3 Earnhardts, and you can do it in thirds. You can go last so you can think about it. I'll put you on the spot. I'll go first. I'm giving it 2 2/3. It's a great song. It was ubiquitous. I like it a lot. It tells a story, but it's not as good as Strawberry Wine. I almost went with 2 1/3. The video's great. 2 2/3.
I too will give it 2 2/3. It is awesome. I love it, but it doesn't quite hit the marquee of the other 3s that we've given. But yeah, no, love the song. Probably gonna add it. I haven't listened to it in a very long time, and it's about to go up in the rotation because it's a very good song.
Just to switch it up, and perhaps this is unfair, but I'll go 2 1/3 because I'm a man that makes me defensive to listen to this song. I got to take a third off of it. But I will say, I mean, it's a great song. It is old fashioned. I was listening to, I did like a Spotify radio thing with Strawberry Wine the other day, and this song popped up just randomly in my headphones, and I didn't know it was going to play, and it really, really hit for me out of context. I hadn't heard it in years, and then you said we were going to cover it on here, so that all hits. It also has, I think, one of the greatest titles of all time.
It's great.
I'm concerned. I'm not surprised that it became the title of the album too, because it's fucking perfect. Like, exactly what this song is about. just from hearing the title, and then the song and lyrics live up to it. So I really jerked it off to give it a 2 1/3, but I'm sticking with it.
Yeah. I was gonna say, to review that, Trey heard it the other day, thinks it's amazing, loves it, but as a piece of art, it makes him feel something, so he lowered it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tushar.
I'm gonna follow Trey's score 2 1/3, only because she presumes that her hair on her legs is the problem. Like that's what's stopping everything.
Yeah, she is looking at herself.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing right? Like it's just the leg.
And like,
Won't you shave that bitch attitude off a little bit? How about that?
Also, the fact
Tushar said it, not me.
Also, the fact that strawberry wine, like I can't give strawberry wine so good compared to this. It's like it bumps it down a little bit. So grading her stuff on a curve goes down a little bit.
All right. Well, you're currently right at a 2.5 if you average them out, and I think I did that right. Andy,
Sure.
What is your rating? 0 to 3 Earnhardts.
I think I'm gonna go 2 2/3 as well. It's a great song.
She always votes the way I do.
Yeah,
Sure.
well, that's how they should.
Custom. Yeah.
I think we should stop spreading this idea that women have to shave to make a man happy, but it's the 90s. It's a great song. Also, fuck that low life.
Why not a 3?
Because, that's strawberry wine.
Right. Can't live up
Right.
to it. All right.
Andy, are your legs shaved right now? Just for context.
Chauvin.
No, they're pretty stubbly.
That's
Hell yeah.
that's funny.
Hell
'cause I
yeah.
asked her that right at the start too.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, she stopped shaving her arms.
Hell
It's
yeah.
fine. It's going good.
and I don't care.
Yeah. No, actually, that doesn't bother me. We talked about this a little bit before. Actually, let's all talk about that. That'll fill a little bit of time. Hairy armpits don't bother me. Hairy legs don't really bother me, but stubble does. Like when, like if it's
Go
like,
one way or the other.
like a week into it and it's like prickly, it looks gross, it looks like dirty and feels like shit. If
Looks
you
like-
grow them out
yeah.
further than that, I'm like, all right, you're a cute little doggy. That's
Can't
fine.
even feel them. Yeah. Yeah. I don't like legs to look like they're trying to solve a murder.
Our buddy Pete Ravello, friend of the Well Read podcast, has a great bit about his wife not shaving under her armpit, and he totally agrees with it, and also it makes him want to vomit. So like it's a thing. How do y'all feel about that? Oh, and last thing I'll say, I saw a TikTok of a woman who didn't shave her happy trail. She was in a bikini. Today I saw it this morning, and I hated it so bad. Go ahead, Corey.
Well, here's where I'm at on it. I would prefer Amber to continue shaving under her arms, but if she decided that she didn't want to, I would not give a fuck. I mean,
What about legs?
She doesn't hardly ever she
Does that have
like,
any effect on you?
No, hell no. Like,
None at all.
no, she shaves her legs, but like sometimes she'll let it go for a while, and like, no, I don't give a no, hell no.
Do you go the other way? Do you sometimes like find porn where it's a hairy woman?
No, find. If one comes about, I'm not going to stop. You know what I mean?
All right, too sure. I think you're going to give us the opposite. What's up?
Wait, what's the question?
Does hair bother you? Like, how do you know?
I mean,
at all?
as a Indian dude who's been with a bunch of Indian ladies, hair is like such a big part of their like hair management. So I typically, it's I had a friend in college who her parents bought her an electrolysis machine, like as a gift, so she doesn't have to pay so much. So like, I don't know. I typically shave, less hair the better. I think. Is that fucked up?
No,
it might be, but
like.
if that's how you feel, it's just
that's probably why I'm single.
We've been conditioned to feel all of this shit.
Dude, some people are into amputees, like just whatever you like.
We've literally never once had the discussion. I think she seems hair don't have for her because she's had everything up to and including her butthole lasered.
Yes.
So she
Butthole
had
laser rules.
yeah. She said she didn't know they were going to laser her butthole when she went there, and that was a surprise. But she still went for it.
Imagine going to a kid.
They laser. You got the electrolysis, whatever Tushar's talking about. And it seems like if you don't want to have hair, it seems like it fucking hits to me because she went and got those laser treatments and she just ain't. ever really have to worry about. I mean, you have to go back and get it done again, I guess. But like, if you want to be shaven and think shaving sucks, it seems like that shit works like a fucking charm. So that's what Katie does. So it's not really a thing in our relationship because of that.
I love all comedians talk about this. It's like if you're married to a comedian, they're going to end up talking about how you get your butthole lasered. It reminded me, Corey, of one of the great moments of well-read and our all relationship lore.
Mm-hmm.
We used to do Gene Getman's podcast. We had to stop doing it because one time we got on there and he started screaming the N-word, and we had to be like, "You're an idiot. Don't put this out. This is over." But one time we was on there with our friend Erica, and she was talking about her mom does that for work. And she was like, "So my mom lasered," and he just goes, "Whoa, hey, your mom lasered your pussy?"
We had it was about 10 minutes of we could not contain ourselves.
He just kept going back to, "Could you talk about your mom lasered your pussy?"
Yeah, that.
Well, I mean, if you want to get your pussy lasered and you got a mom that
better
does
keep
that,
it in
what are you
house.
supposed to do? Go fucking
Not
pay
to
for it somewhere else?
No.
You're gonna get the hookup.
Well, I remind everybody to follow Lucy Lightning. Thanks everyone for being with us. And I wanted to say Rhonda Hart plays every Wednesday at the Floribama Club in Pensacola, Florida. You can go see her. I'm sure she closes with this song every time. She's got a great voice.
That hits.
That does hit.
Thank you, Andy.
Thank you.
Nice.
Last night I dreamed the mountains were a woman with wildflower hair and goat's milk skin. Last night I dreamed she held me in her arms and told me all the secrets of the stars. The
That was Lucy Lightning with Mother Mountain. The single will be available April 22nd, and we thank Lucy for hanging out in the studio with us today and giving us that little preview, that little clip of her first undoubtedly #1 hit.
Bubba Shout the podcast, and that's right, a show about country at its height. Don't expect no shit from 2005. Bubba Shout the podcast, and that's right.